Hello.
How are you?
Let me turn on my light. I'm good. How are you? I look dark here. I might change. Don't I look dark?
No, you look good. I mean, I think you're backlit a little bit.
It's just that I'm in the big monitor that I reinstalled here to see if it makes better. And before I was in my little. Hold on. Give me 1 second, and I like it here. It's fine. No fuss. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Feeling somehow a little bit more adjusted, I would say.
Sorry, my whole family's on.
Oh, your family's popping in. Well, that's good. My family didn't care for popping in. My family's like, okay, Mom, we're done with our Zoom calls for the day. Your kid's been busy with a lot of Zoom calls?
Yeah, one of them has. The others, the Tam, not so much, but some. Hey, Harrison.
You can come in, Harrison.
We got something too.
Hey.
All right. How are you guys doing? How is second week been for you all?
For us, it's been okay. I think, like we talked about, we've been kind of noticing the good parts of this, but then also I think a lot of people are, noticing as we move forward in time that the stress of the unknown is starting to be more difficult to manage. So yeah, like definitely has been a good thing to bring everyone back together for I think a lot. I see so many families walking together, like it's so sweet, which is awesome. But yeah, there's also like the underlying intense stress, I think. So yeah, kind of both.
Yeah.
How about for you guys?
It has been good in that sense. And I think we talked about that last week, and we've been having conversations of, all the things that we've been taking for granted all this years, right? And hopefully this experience will help us remind ourselves from time to time not to take the most basic things for granted, right? Our freedom to come and go as we please, our freedom to gather, right? Our freedom to hug each other. Like, there's so many things that are really bothering right now, but like not being able to hug people is really affecting me big time, like on the huge emotional level.
Yeah.
I told my kids they need to hug me at least 5 times a day.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to go in a very crazy emotional roller coaster. They do not want to see me going there.
Oh. Yeah.
But, my daughter was saying how she misses having classes with teachers right there. When she has a question, she can ask the teacher, she gets the answer right away as opposed to emailing or talking to a friend who may not know just as much as she doesn't know. And my son too, he's like, he's a freshman in high school. And it's hard, as you have kids in high school too. Freshman year is really, really difficult. And he goes to school in the city, so he's even outside his community, which makes even a little bit more difficult for him. But he says, he misses the crowded, cramped bus and the conversations that they had. And he misses messing around with the kids during the trip from here to San Francisco. He misses his annoying teacher. I'm not going to say which one it is. We never know when she's going to watch it. But it's just things like that. He misses this annoying kid in math class, but he misses that. And those are just the little things that we do take for granted. Going to the bigger things, to so many people who are sick right now and having trouble breathing. And we take breathing for granted. We do without thinking. we do without ever being grateful that we have this ability to take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. And so I've been asking my kids to every day write 3 things that they are grateful for, and even the little things that it seems silly, the fact that we can get out of the house and walk up and down our street because the Golden Gate National Recreational Area stays right behind our house. So we can get out. There's an easement right here. So we get up on the easement and we can walk. And we are not going to bump into too many people. But the fact that we can walk, the fact that we have a house that we can shelter in, the fact that we are taking deep breaths, the fact that we have internet, look how we are connecting. Like, it's making me so happy to see you with Steci and Mike. You have no idea how happy it makes me feel to see you there too. You know, just like being able to connect somehow. It's bringing that sense of we are still here, we still matter, life still matters, right? How is it for you?
Well, we had a women's circle last night, and it was really interesting. It was, I think, really meaningful for everyone to kind of, to connect, even though it was, virtually and remotely, as a community. And so we're all learning new ways to do that. Hopefully not permanently or for too long, but I think it definitely highlights like you said, the importance of us connecting and sharing experiences and kind of like finding out how other people are doing. So, and then also I know you're going to talk about the value of meditation and mindfulness, and we did some, did mindfulness practices and meditation together. And so kind of also doing that and, in a community also, I think, was really helpful for everybody's kind of sense of, to kind of move beyond the sense of isolation.
Right.
Take you out of
mostly
fear.
Right, and that's what I was going to say, mostly because right now our brain is in fear and panic mode, right? Is the fight or flight mode.
Right.
And when our brain jumps into that mode, everything just becomes a source of anxiety and a source of fear, and we immediately go to that fear of scarcity, which we can see people fear shopping, right? I don't even know how to call this, but panic shopping. I think that's how I've seen it. And one thing that is really interesting about the brain is that because of our negative bias, there is this emotional contagion that happens with negative emotions. It happens with positive emotions too, but the ratio is 3-to-1. So the speed that our negative emotions and thoughts reach other people is 3 times faster than our positive emotions and thoughts reach other people. The speed in which our negative, the panic, the fear, the anxiety are affecting other people and changing their emotions is 3 times faster than the positive one, the sense of hope, the faith, the love, the compassion, the empathy, the care, right? So it requires from us a lot much more work to train our brains to think positive, not ignoring the negative. We can't ignore, like, ignorance is not a bliss right now, mostly in this pandemic that we are in. We need to know what's going on. We need to understand what's going on, and we need to take the right steps and the right precautions. But we also need to take care of our brain and help come back and balance out, to get out of this state of fear and panic and anxiety and go more into a state of, okay, there are many things that are scary right now. We don't know. I mean, look at what is happening to Italy. Like, all we know is data from the past, from what happened in China, from what happened in Italy, from what's happening other parts of Europe and now South America. So that fear of the unknown really takes over our brain, but we have to balance it out with the positive. Yes, there's a lot to fear, there's a lot that we don't know, but there's so much to be grateful for. There's still so much goodness around us. Again, the fact that we have a home to shelter in, the fact that we have internet to connect with each other, to fulfill that little need of connection, to order food, to order supplies. We have a delivery system that is working, at least here where we are. I don't know how it's working around in other parts of the country, but at least here, the fact that we have, that I have a family, I have kids who absolutely love hanging out with me, and they are very loving, and they are giving me the love and the hugs and the kisses that I need. The weather is getting warmer, flowers are coming out, the birds are singing. I know that sometimes it may not seem that it means much, but to the brain, to change the physiology of the brain, to change the wiring of the brain, and to help the brain balance out with, positive and negative emotions, these little things, the ones that we take for granted on a daily basis, these are the things that are going to help us balance out the negativity in the brain right now.
And what are the some of the benefits in terms of like physiologically of kind of trying to retrain the brain towards a gratitude mindset, and especially when we're kind of still in this state of fight and flight?
Right. So, positive psychology has been it's kind of new to a lot of people right now, but researchers and neuroscientists have been studying the effects of positive psychology and gratitude and positivity and mindfulness in our brain for decades. Actually, I found an article when they studied the effects of gratitude in the nuns, nurses during the Second World War. This is my 5th Zoom call today. So, besides my accent, it was just like, words are coming out a little bit slower. But they found these tests that they ran with the nuns / nurses from the Second World War in, late 30s to early 40s. And it was really interesting because I have the tests that we have right now, right? So for instance, a brain in gratitude, a brain that is happier, a brain that is more positive, right? Make people 20% happier. Our happiness baseline raises, like it goes up. And we are going to talk about the happiness baseline, so I'm not going to talk about that today because we are going to go a whole session on that next time. But it's something that is really important to just keep in the back of the mind right now. Our happiness baseline is that baseline where it doesn't matter how happy we are today because of something. Let's say you win the lottery and you become super happy today. After a few weeks, you go back to the baseline. So raising our happiness baseline, it should be a goal, because the happier we become, the better our hearts work, the better they pump the blood. So less hypertension, less depression, we sleep better. Like there's an increase up to 40% of better sleep that we get when our brain is in gratitude mode. Because it makes us feel more optimistic and enthusiastic, it helps us exercise more. Right? So when we are feeling more optimistic and happy, we exercise more. When we exercise more, so then we have better blood flow, we strengthen our muscles, we strengthen our immune system. We are also going to go into the specifics of how gratitude improves our mental health, our physical health, our psychological health, and our emotional health. Mm-hmm. But it's really important to understand that it's been proven through fMRIs. Mm-hmm. After 28 days of someone practicing daily gratitude, how their sleep pattern has improved, how their heart, blood system has improved, their heart has improved, their immune system has become stronger. They have done blood tests that can prove that, and we are going to share all that information in the next few sessions that we have together. But it's because our brain in gratitude releases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and it's those dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, right? All the hormones that make us feel good, that make us feel happy, and that helps us strengthen our immune system. But it is something that we need to practice. It's just like exercising and developing a muscle. You don't just exercise, develop your muscles, and then you stop and you expect the muscles to stay there. You are going to lose the muscles. They are going to get flabby again. Gratitude will always give us, it will always improve our health and make us happier as long as we keep practicing.
Right. And in the idea of neuroplasticity and neurons that, if you keep thinking a certain way, neurons that fire together, wire together, do you have an idea of how kind of, if someone were to do a practice like this, consciously, how long it might take till it starts to feel more natural? Or?
Yeah, usually it's 28 days. Like after we practice gratitude for 28 days, you will start developing you develop a habit, because that's what we want to do, right? We want to start a practice, and we want it to be daily, and we want it to do it about the same time, so that you can develop a habit. So you don't have to think about it. Your brain will think it for you, just like brushing our teeth, right? You wake up, whatever habit you have, if you wake up and you just go straight to the bathroom, wash your face and brush your teeth, or shower, brush your teeth, or you eat and brush your teeth, whatever it is that we do have a sequence of actions that we do that we don't even think. We don't think, oh, now I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to put my feet on the ground. I'm going to walk into the bathroom. I'm going to wash my face. Oh, now that I washed my face, I'm going to brush my teeth. We don't do that, right? So what is going to happen after we developed a habit or a routine of being grateful for the things around us, our brain opens up, right? It's almost like you take those little blinds off from the sides here. And the more gratitude we show, the more gratitude we express, the more gratitude we give, the more endorphins, oxytocin, dopamine we have released in the brain, the more the brain wants that. So the more the brain will start looking for just possibilities of being grateful. For instance, I just thought right now, I thought it was going to rain today. I'm actually grateful that it's not raining right now, because after this call, I can go for my last walk of the day. So it's just those little things that I'm not even thinking on being grateful. I'm already doing it without thinking. That's because I've already developed the habit. I walk down the street and I see a little flower popping from somewhere. I'm like, oh, I stop. I literally stop to smell the flower. I do want to know if that flower has a smell or not. That's because I have already developed that habit. And even then, I still sit down on my desk after I meditate in the morning, and I do look around and try to expand my vision to what else can I be grateful for today. And also I tell myself, now that you're starting your day, pay attention to things that are going to come up, maybe some novelties, maybe something unexpected that you can be grateful for at the end of the day. So it's about 28 days. It's usually the time that it takes to develop a habit. In order for a habit to be developed, we have to practice every day. It's different for each person, of course. So some people say that they are able to develop a habit after 14 days, some after 21. It's usually numbers of 7. That's how the brain works. But I would say 21 to 28 days, and then people will start feeling the difference, and they will find a resilience within themselves after some time practicing gratitude, that even though things seem very eerie right now, I still look at it and I have so much hope and so much faith that we are going to get out of this a little bit faster than we are all expecting. because I do believe that our researchers are working nonstop to find ways to resolve whatever it is that we need to be resolved, you know?
Right. Yeah. Is there anything, into kind of this first session that are, a practice that people can start to implement to kind of a daily first or one or two steps?
Yes. What I always say, every day, 3 things you're grateful for. What are you grateful for today? Name 3 things. I do first thing in the morning. And when I do that first thing in the morning, I look back at the day before, and I look back at something that has already happened in my day. I'm the first one to wake up in my house. So I get up, I make coffee, and I drink by the window while I can see birds outside. I live up on the top of the hill, so I have a nice view, and I can see the sun coming up behind the mountains back there. But I do also, I close my eyes and I try to remember what happened the day before that I didn't write down at night in my gratitude journal. And that's what I do. And I have a very simple journal, but I do write it down because it's one thing that we are going to talk to in one of our sessions, the importance of writing things down for the brain to really assimilate the information that comes in. It's so much better if it comes through one of the senses. So just thinking is good. And just thinking, you guys will see in the researches that are going to present to you, just thinking of things that we are grateful for already releases dopamine and oxytocin in our brains. Just thinking of the things that we are grateful for. Actually, there are researches that show that just thinking that I need to be grateful for something today already starts releasing dopamine in the brain, which is really great. But when we take the time to say them out loud, now you are using 2 senses, right? You are speaking and then you are hearing. So the more senses we use in our gratitude practice, the faster the information will imprint in our brains, because every piece of information that comes to the brain comes through the 5 senses. Some people have 6 and 7 senses, which I don't understand much about those, so I can never talk about them. I'm not a doctor in that kind of stuff. I'm a neurolinguist, so I understand. The only part I understand is how the brain communicates and how our personality is involved in the way that we communicate and that kind of stuff. But 3 things you're grateful for, right? So my practice is I wake up, I come downstairs, I make coffee, and then I look around and I immediately am grateful for the fact that I woke up, that I have another day ahead of me. So this is something that already comes to my mind. It becomes a routine. But then I come into my office and I do 15-minute meditation, and I do use the Calm app for that. And no, they don't sponsor me, and I'm not taking any fees from them. I just really, really love the app. I like sometimes I do the guided meditation. Sometimes I just put the sound, like nature sounds or gongs or symbols or things like that. And after my meditation, I grab my little notebook. Oh, here it is. It's just a simple little notebook, and I open it and I put the day on and I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. In this journal, that's all I do. I don't go on and write about a lot of stuff. I have a different journal that from time to time, I don't do it every day, but once or twice a week, I do sit down and I write a full page on the things that I'm grateful for. But this practice is I sit here and I think about 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I can even read it to you. So today I wrote Gus's health, my son. He was coughing for a few days, and that was really worrying me, as you guys may imagine. And I wrote, he didn't cough at all overnight, and he woke up and he's feeling much better. And the fact that the trails behind my house are not closed as we thought they were. And then I wrote Ava's health, my daughter. She doesn't have anything, but I'm very grateful for her health because she doesn't have anything. So just simple things like that, but every day. So let's start with that. Every day, 3 things you're grateful for. It can be first thing in the morning. It can also be before you go to bed. It really, really helps you have a better sleep if you take some time for gratitude prayer or just a gratitude thinking before you go to bed. But let's start with that.
Okay, great. That's really good tips. Thank you. Can you give us also kind of like an overview of what in kind of this series on gratitude like is going to be covering if people choose to, check it out and stay with us and
Sure. So I'm a personal development and leadership coach, right? And I have been using gratitude practice with every single client that I've worked with for the past few years, and the results have been incredible. I will show some inspirational stories of real people from different levels in different industries. We are going to talk, I'm always going to share a little bit of the science behind the power that a gratitude practice can have in our lives. I do like to know what the science is behind. I do like to understand how our brain works and how that affects our behaviors. I really do like that kind of stuff. I'm going to share some journaling prompts, different types of journaling prompts, so we can make it fun. And I will also explain how they affect us, how they help, in what ways they help us. I'm also going to give some tips on if you don't like sitting down and writing it down, you can do it in different ways. Because again, people are different, and I'm an expert in different personality types. So I understand that people learn differently, people communicate differently, people operate differently. So I'm going to offer as many different options I can think of. We're going to talk about the importance of breathing exercises to help calm down the nervous system so we can calm down the body, help us focus, help us develop better habits and routine during the day so we can also improve our immune system. The importance of mantras, we can share a couple of mantras and what they do in the brain and how we can carry on in the day. And like I said, some inspirational stories. And I really would love for this to be a place for us to really talk and have a conversation. I will bring the science and I will bring my expertise on it. But I really would love for us to have a conversation and learn from each other and share our experiences and, share our pain and share our fears right now, but also share the goodness and share the love and share. There's so much out there to learn, and I want to learn too.
Great. Yeah, I know that this kind of came out of both of us noticing kind of the silver linings that we were observing during this difficult time, and kind of that wanting to explore that. And so yeah, this sounds like this is going to be great. And so people can join us Mondays and Fridays from 4:30 to 5, and at the same link.
The same link. I'm going to make it just a little bit more customizable. I'm going to see if I can put my name on it, because then we don't have numbers. Then it could be /Miriam Burke. Let me see if I can change that right after our talk. But if it's not, it will be the same number. Yeah.
Okay, great. And anything else that you want to say before we leave until next time?
Well, yes. Thank you so much for thinking of me, Astisha, and putting together this gratitude series. I think it's really important right now. We really need to support each other, because there's, besides the pandemic that is happening, there's a fear in my heart that we are going to feel really lonely and feel depressed. And, as part of my humanity, I just can't let that happen. And I think that if we come together and help each other out, we can navigate through these troubled waters and support each other and, like you said, and maybe raise our vibration.
Yeah.
Bring some more positivity and more energy in the air, and I don't know, and just change the course of what's happening.
Yeah, I think we both commented that you can definitely feel when like you go to the grocery store, you can feel the fear, and so energetically all these things do affect us and those around us, and so how important it is for each of us to have, I guess, energetic integrity as much as we So maybe we could each say something we're grateful for as we close out for today.
Yeah. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Like I said, I'm grateful for Mike being here. It made me feel really happy, and Harrison popping in. And I am really grateful for this opportunity. I can't wait to connect with other people too.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really grateful for being able to connect with you on this. It's, I think, something we both have been wanting to kind of share, the idea of a gratitude practice and the benefits of it. So it was exciting to hear that we had that in common, and that you have so much expertise in that, and to get it here on this platform. And yeah, so far that, the grocery stores are still open, and, people are still getting around us basic resources that they need. Yeah.
Mike, without putting you on the spot, would you like to say anything you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for my family, and like you said, I'm grateful for our health, and it does make you appreciate some of the smaller things that might get overlooked. I was enjoying hiking and getting outside, and I'm grateful for, the opportunity to get past this, and I'm hopeful that we can. So, and I'm grateful for this class. I'll be here at 4:30 on Mondays and Fridays, so I'm grateful for you. So.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and be well.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Miriam.
We'll be here on Friday.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.
Bye.